हे एवरीवन, वेलकम टू एमएस एनसीईआरटी स्टडीज। और आज की इस वीडियो में हम एनसीईआरटी क्लास 12 ज्योग्राफी की बुक फंडामेंटल ऑफ ह्यूमन ज्योग्राफी का चैप्टर 2 द वर्ल्ड पॉपुलेशन डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन डेंसिटी एंड ग्रोथ को पढ़ेंगे, रीडिंग करेंगे। तो लेट्स गो। The people of a country are its real wealth. It is they who are the actual resource and make use of the country's other resources and decide its policies. Ultimately, a country is known by its people. It is important to know how many women and how many men a country has, how many children are born each year, how many people die and how, whether they live in city or villages, can they read or write, and what work do they do. These are what you will study about in this unit. The world at the beginning of 21st century recorded the presence of over 6 billion population. We shall discuss the partners of their distribution and density here. Why do people prefer to live in certain region and not in other? The people of the world is unevenly distributed. The remark of George B. Cressy about the population of Asia, that Asia has many places where people are few and few places where people are very many, is true about the pattern of population distribution of the world also. Patterns of population distribution in the world. Patterns of population distribution and density helps us to understand the demographic characteristics of any area. The term population distribution refers to the way people are spaced over the Earth's surface. Broadly, 90% of the world population live in about 10% of its land area. The most populous country of the world contribute about 60% of the world's population. Of these 10 countries, 6 are located in Asia. Identify these 6 countries of Asia. These are the countries most populous country. Density of population. Each unit of land has limited capacity to support people living on it. Hence, it is necessary to understand the ratio between the number of people to size of land. This ratio is the density of population. It is usually measured in a person per square kilometer. Density of population, population upon area. For example, area of region X is 100 square kilometer and the population is 1,50,000 person. The density of population is calculated as 1,50,000 upon 100. That is 1500 person square kilometer. What does this tell you about region X? Look table 2.1 and observe that Asia has the highest density of population. Discuss in the class about what could be the reason for this. Factor influencing the distribution of population. First, geographic factors. Availability of water. Water is the most important factor for life, so people prefer to live in area where fresh water is easily available. Water is used for drinking, bathing and cooking, and also for cattle, crops, industry and navigation. It is because of this that river valleys are among the most densely populated areas of the world. Landforms. People prefer living on flat planing and gentle slopes. This is because such areas are favorable for the production of crop and to build road and industries. The mountainous and hilly areas hinder the development of transport network and hence initially do not favor agriculture and industrial development. So these areas tend to be less populated. The Ganga plain are among the most densely populated area of the world, while the mountain zones in the Himalayas are scarcely populated. Third, climate. An extreme climate such a very hot or cold desert are uncomfortable for human habitation. Areas with a comfortable climate where there is not much seasonal variation attracts more people. Area with very heavy rainfall or extreme and harsh climate have low population. Mediterranean region were inhabited for earlier periods in history due to their pleasant climate. Table 2.1. Fourth, soil. Fertile soil are important for agriculture and allied activity. Therefore, areas which have fertile luminary soil have more people living on them, as these can support intensive agriculture. Can you name some area in India which are thinly populated due to poor soils? Second, economic factors. Mineral. Area with mineral deposit attract industry. Mining and industry activity generate employment. So, skilled and semi-skilled workers move to these areas and make them densely populated. Katanga Jambai copper belt in Africa is one such good example. Urbanization. City offer better employment opportunity, educational and medical facility, better means of transport and communication, good civics, amenities and the attraction of city life draw people to the cities. It leads to rural to urban migration and cities grow in size. Mega cities of world continue to attract large number of migrants every year. Yet, city life can be very taxing. Think of some of the pleasant aspects of city life. Industrialization. Industrial belts provide job opportunity and attract large number of people. These include not just factory workers but also transport operator, shopkeeper, bank employees, doctor, teacher and other services provider. The Kobe Osaka region of Japan is thickly populated because of presence of number of industries. Social and culture factor. Some places attract more people because they have religious or cultural significance. In the same way, people tend to move away from places where there is social and political unrest. Many a time, governments offer incentive to people live in sparsely populated area or move away from overcrowded places. Can you think of some example from your region? Population growth. The population growth or population change refer to the change in number of inhabitants of a territory during a specific period of time. This change may be positive as well as negative. It can be expressed either in terms of absolute number or in terms of percentage. Population change in an area is an important identifier of economic development, social upliftment, and historical and cultural background of the region. Some basic concepts of population. Geography. Growth of population. Change of population in particular area between 2 points of time is known as growth of population. For example, if we decut the population of India 2001 102.70 crore from population 2011 121.2 crore, then we shall get the growth of population 18.15 crore in actual number. Growth rate of population. This is the change of population expressed in percentage. Natural growth of population. This is the population increase by difference between birth and deaths in particular region between 2 points of time. Natural growth, birth, death, actual growth of population. This is births, death plus in migration, out migration. Positive growth of population. This happens when the birth rate is more than the death rate between 2 points of time or when people from other country migrate permanently to a region. Negative growth of population. If the population decreases between 2 points of time is known as negative growth of population. It occurs when the birth rate falls below that rate or people migrate to other country. Components of population change. There are three components of population change: birth, death and migration. The crude birth rate (CBR) is expressed as number of live birth in a year per thousand of population. It is calculated as CBR equal to BI upon P into 1000. Here CBR crude birth rate, BI live birth during the year, P mid-year population of area. Death rate play an active role in population change. Population growth occurs not only by increasing birth rate but also due to increasing death rate. Current death rate (CDR) is simple method of measuring mortality of any area. CDR is expressed in terms of number of deaths in a particular area per year, thousand of population in particular region. CDR is calculated as CDR equal to D upon P into 1000. Here CDR crude death rate, D number of deaths, P estimated mid-year population of that year. By and large mortality rate are affected by the region's demographic structure, social advancement and the level of its economic development. Migration. Apart from birth and death, there is another way by which the population size change. When people move from one place to another, the place they move from is called the place of origin and the place they move to is called place of destination. The place of origin shows a decrease in population while the population is increased in the place of destination. Migration may be interpreted as a spontaneous effort to achieve a better balance between population and resources. Observe the news item and think of some reason why certain country become attractive destination for migrants. Migration to cities are traditionally age and sex selective. More men of working age group move to cities. Can you think of some reason why 22% of migrants to Mumbai are kids? Migration may be permanent, temporary or seasonal. It may take place from rural to rural area, rural to urban area, urban to urban area and urban to rural areas. Do realize that the same person is both an immigrant and emigrant. Migration, migrants who move into a new place called immigrants. Immigration, migrants who move out of place are called immigrants. Can you think of reason why people migrate? People migrate for better economic and social life. There are two sets of factors that influence migration. The push factor make the place of origin seem less attractive for reasons like unemployment, poor living condition, politics, turmoil, unpleasant climate, natural disaster, epidemics and socio-economic backwardness. The pull factor makes the place of destination seem more attractive than the place of origin for reasons like better job opportunities and living conditions, peace and stability, security of life and property and unpleasant climate. Trend in population growth. The population on the earth is more than 7 billion. It has grown to this size over centuries. In the early period, population of world grew very slowly. It is only during the last few hundred years that population has increased at an alarming rate. Figure 2.2 tell the story of population growth. After the evolution and introduction of agriculture about 1200 to 800 years ago, the size of population was small, roughly 8 million. In the 1st century AD, it was below 300 million. The expanding world trade during the 16th and 17th century set the stage of rapid population growth. Around 1750, at the dawn of the Industrial Revolution, the world population was 550 million. World population exploded in the 18th century after the Industrial Revolution. Technological advancement achieved so far helped in the reduction of death rate and provide a stage for accelerated population growth. Here is the chart. 2.2 Recessive technology and population growth. 2.2 Doubling time of world population. How science and technology help population growth. The steam engine replaced a human and animal energy and also provide mechanized energy of water and wind. This increased agriculture and industrial production. Inclusion against epidemic and other communicable diseases, empowerment in medical facility and sanitization contributed to a rapid decline in death rate throughout the world. Do you know? Human population increased more than 10 times in the past 500 years. In the 20th century itself, the population has increased 4 times. Doubling time of world population. It took more than a million years of human population to attain the 1 billion mark, but it took only 12 years for it to rise from 5 billion to 6 billion. See the table 2.2 careful, which show the doubling time of world population is reducing fast. There is a great variation among regions in doubling their population. Developed countries take more time to double their population as compared to developing countries. Most of the population growth is taking place in the developing world, where population is exploding. Why is this so? Spatial pattern of population change. Population growth in different parts of the world can be compared. The growth of population is low in developed countries as compared to developing countries. There is negative correlation between economic development and population growth. Although the annual rate of population change for 1.4% seems to below table 2.3, it is actually not so. This is because when a small annual rate is applied to a very large population, it will lead to a large population change. Even if the growth rate continues to decline, the total population grow each year. The infant mortality rate may have increased as has the death rate during childbirth. Table 2.3 Growth of population 2010-15 over 1990-1995. Impact of population change. A small increase in population is describable in a growing economy. However, population growth beyond a certain level leads to a problem. Of these, the depletion of resources is the most serious. Population decline is also a matter of concern. It indicates that resources that had supported a population earlier are now insufficient to maintain the population. The deadly HIV/AIDS epidemic in Africa and some parts of Commonwealth of Independent States (CIS) and Asia have pushed up death rate and reduce average life expectancy. This has slowed down population growth. Population growth rate. The annual population growth rate in India is 1.64%. Some developed countries will take 318 years to double their population, whereas some countries still do not show symptoms of doubling their population. Demographic transition. Demographic transition theory can be used to describe and predict the future population of any area. The theory tells us that population of any region changes from high birth and high death to low birth and low death as society progresses from rural, agrarian and literate to urban, industrial and literate society. These changes occur in stages which are collectively known as demographic cycle. Rural agrarian, demographic transition, urban industrialization. Figure 2.3 explains the three-stage model of demographic transition theory. The first stage has high fertility and high mortality because people reproduce more to compensate for the death due to epidemic and variable food supply. The population growth is slow and most of the people are engaged in agriculture where large families are an asset. Life expectancy is low. People are mostly literate and have low level of technology. 200 years ago, all the countries of world were in this stage. Fertility remained high in beginning of second stage, but it declines with time. This is accompanied by reduced mortality rate. Improvement in sanitization and healthy condition lead to decline in mortality. Because of this gap, the net addition of population is high. In the last stage, both fertility and mortality decline considerably. The population is either stable or grows slowly. The population becomes urbanized, literate and has high technical know how to reliably control the family size. This shows that human beings are extremely flexible and are able to adjust their fertility. In the present day, different countries are at different stages of demographic transition. Population control measures. Family planning is the spacing of preventing the birth of child. Access to family planning services is a significant factor in limiting population growth and improving women's health. Propaganda-free ability for contract fix contrast contraceptive free availability of contraceptives and tax disincentives of large families are some of the measures which can help population control. Thomas Malthus in his theory 1798 stated that the number of people would increase faster than the food supply. Any further increase would result in population crash caused by famine, diseases and war. The preventive check are better than physical check for the sustainability of our resources. The world will have to control the rapid population increase. Thank you for this chapter. Bye.